record? All
Hey,
right.
everybody.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
How was everybody Thanksgiving
Record?
this week? Except if you're in Canada, then yours was a while ago.
And again last week.
And again last week, if you're Sharona.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So let's see what direction to take this in today. I do we have anybody new with us? Only one name on the list I don't recognize, which is Bernie. Would someone let us know if they know who Bernie is?
I think that's Bernie Mattingly.
Oh, okay.
Divine's
Okay,
going to
well,
be here
if they
shortly.
show up. What's that, buddy?
Divine's going to be here shortly.
Oh, excellent. Oh, he's going to jump on here.
Yeah,
Is he
as
inviting
well.
his people on?
Yeah,
Here?
not sure any of them have been able to make this time available, but they have the recording as well. So that'll be hopefully
Excellent.
they'll watch
Well,
that
then
before.
we'll wait till Divine. Wait till Divine gets here before we start the presentation side of it. So
Cool.
yeah, awesome. So in the meantime, let's talk crypto. Let's talk blockchain a lot, or let's talk whatever that we call this thing, Web3.
Crypto, Web3.
Blockchain online. Yep.
Bless you.
Yes. Hey, David, how you doing? David just joined us. Might be able to jump in here and just do a presentation, but let's wait for Divine to show up and then we'll get started. We'll just go through the presentation. So lots of great stuff, guys, happening in crypto, in the whole Web3 blockchain space. So they've got by January 10th, we should have an ETF. The halving is coming. Been listening to a lot of people talking about, are we still in the bear market? Are we in the bull market? And it's pretty clear for 99% of the people out there, this is the beginning of the bull market. They have the different phases that are there. So this is the phase right now that's beginning. The great thing is they're talking about this being possibly a 24 to 30 month bull run, right? Running all the way through 2024, all the way into 2025, and then possibly into the beginning of 2026, giving us lots of time to find projects, get involved, and build a large dynamic community that is supporting Web3, bringing decentralization to the world. And a lot of great stuff happening, right? We've got, big players coming into the marketplace, more people filing for not just ETFs for Bitcoin, but also Ethereum ETFs that are being filed. Some tokens are already jumping 20, 30%, right? There's some out there that have actually done, a few, 3, 4, 5, 6 times X's already at where this is at. So, and I got to tell you, sometimes it can be exciting to chase the crypto market, but after the last 2 bull runs, to be honest with you guys, I'm not interested in chasing the crypto market. If that's something that you want to do, then, I think there's been several times in the last one, my wife got mad at me because she came down at 7:00 in the morning and I was still trying to get into a token, right? So I don't want my wife mad at me anymore. So, and that's the reason for us to form nexWeb3. There's going to be people that are going to chase. And then there's people that don't have to chase, okay? And the people that don't have to chase are the ones that have built groups of people that have information, right? They understand the marketplace, and then they share that information amongst each other, and they just take action, make things happen. The rest of us are chasing. Is it going to keep going up? Is it going to, it's already 3x. Is it going to go higher or lower? When should I sell? When shouldn't I sell? That was actually the reason for us building NSI. Because I got to tell you, it's stressful chasing tokens. Should I sell it? I'm up 30%. I'm up 50%. Should I sell it? Should I buy it? Is it going to run? Is it not going to run? How many here have gone to bed and thinking, oh my God, this thing's taken off, I should sell it. Now I'll hold it until in the morning. And then you wake up in the morning and it's off 35%, right?
Me.
Right. Like, why didn't I sell last night? Or a token runs up 135%. And you're like, yeah, it's probably done. It's probably finished running. And you don't buy it. 3 days later, come back and it's up 642%, right? All of these things I've done and had to happen. And to be honest with you, I like to make money, but I also like to have a life that's not full of stress and all the struggles that come along with it, second guessing myself all day long. So we built NSI. NSI is going to trade for you. It doesn't have emotion. It looks at the fundamentals. It looks at what is taking place in the marketplace. And the way that it was built, it was built to, those people I talked about when I first started talking, the ones that are in the room that know each other and they call it, hey, Johnny, how you doing, buddy? Good. Yeah, I'm hanging out here. What are you doing? I just bought $2 million worth of this token. Oh, cool. Yeah, Susan bought some too. And so did Johnny and so did Mark and Bob. And, cool, let's jump into it. Or they all discuss ahead of time and they get this stuff going. What NSI does is it watches those people, because it's all done on a blockchain, and then it takes when the whales, the people that have that information, when they're buying, it starts to buy. When they're selling, it sells. And that's why it's such an effective tool. That and money management makes it one of the most effective decentralized trading bots out there. But again, I do understand. I do know some people that caught some tokens and did really well, right? 6, 7 figures. Oh, wait a minute. They did give it all back on the next 40 tokens. It didn't quite work out as well. That's right. I remember now. And to be honest with you guys, that's what most people will do, because we as people do not have the discipline. We can't see all the information that an AI-driven bot can see and make those determinations. And so that's on the trading side of it. That's NSI. Let's talk about getting involved in projects. So let me ask you guys a question. If you're going to the marketplace, do you think you're getting to the project early or late? If it's like already gone on to Binance, do you think you're early or do you think you're late?
Leading the witness.
Somebody could just put in the probably late, right, in that process. So even if you made money, let's say you got into this project when it first went on the exchange and it goes up 3, 4, 5, 6, 10x. You're like, oh my God, I made 10x on this. I made my $1,000 now is 10,000. Do you think that the people that got in before it went to the marketplace are up more than 10x? Maybe 20, 30, 40, 50x? Guys, this is about nexWeb3 is about a community coming together to give us the ability to be the person in the room that every project wants to look at and be a part of their project. That's ultimately what it is. And by building a group of thousands of people, and not just thousands of people, but thousands of people that are educated. That's why we have an education system in place, right? It's why we are building a DAO. So the DAO itself can create its own opportunities. And who owns the DAO? The nexWeb3 NFT holders. So the way that we're building this and the way that we're putting this together is to where if you decide to get into nexWeb3, you say, you know what? I like what I'm hearing. I'm going to mint an NFT. It is our goal to align you with thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people that all want to increase their digital wealth. And since now we have this community of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that all want to increase their digital wealth, and they're willing to do something about it. They're willing to put money in a project. They're willing to go like, comment, and share. They're willing to go use the software. They're willing to engage with the project, and they're willing to give the project a chance to flourish, to start to take off by not necessarily buying in and selling out the next day, right? Day trading it or whatever you want to call it. So by doing that, now a rising tide truly raises all ships. Every single member is striving to the same thing, which is to increase their own digital wealth. But because now we're in a community, now that we're in this group, now we can leverage each other's. So let's say there's 10,000 of us. Let's say I go to a project and I go, I have $100 I want to put in this project. Let me grab a visual reference here. Let's grab a little Benjamin. So I want to take my Benjamin here and I want to put it in a project, but I am by myself. So I find the project. I call the founders of the project and I tell them, hey, my name is Peter and I'm by myself and I would like to put $100 bill in your project. What do you think is going to happen in that scenario? Can someone just in the chat tell me what's going to happen when I go to them and say, hey, I'm early. You're just developing your project. I'll give you this $100 bill that might pay for one day of your servers to run, right? Or a couple days of servers. What do you think is going to happen? Probably not very much. That's not that they don't want me to become part of their project, but they're not going to give me attention. Now, let's say we had 10,000 people that all said we all have one of these Benjamins. And as a group, as an organization, we're all willing to put in $100 each. All of a sudden now we have $1 million sitting on the table that we can bring to this project for them to now have resources to get it launched, to get it going. But not only that, we also have the magic sauce. We have 10,000 people who have been educated on Web3 that now can go engage on that project. They can like their social media, right? Boom, overnight, thousands of people on their YouTube channel, thousands of people on their Telegram channel, thousands of people on their Discord. And because we all put it in our Benjamin, we're now going to put effort and energy into sharing it with other people. And then when they get ready to do, let's say it's a token, it's a chain, and they need people now to test it. Already thousands of people in line to test it. Because see, here's the problem with starting a project. I start a project. I need the money to develop the project. The second thing I need is another $1 million or $2 million just to get to the first 10, 15,000 people in my circle, in my thing, right? That are involved in my project. And by the time I get to launch it, I've probably spent $3, $4, $5 million on marketing this project. Imagine being able to do that where a group says, here's $1 million plus we'll bring that to you. What is the value of that to a project? Now, what if we got to 100,000 people? I want to ask you a question. Do you think we would have to go find projects if this was the case? 100,000 people, collective resources, collective network, collective intelligence, collective social, right? Social value, right? With sharing, liking, commenting. How much value do you think that belongs to it? Would create for a project? And how much leverage do you think the community would have to negotiate a phenomenal deal for the members? And wouldn't these projects come to us when they first started? So we would be what? Outside of the founders, we would be the first ones to get involved in these projects. First. Not the first one to get in when it went on an exchange, on a decentralized or centralized exchange. No, we would be the first ones in before all of that took place. What's the possibilities? What could happen if that took place? And so really all nexWeb3 is a marketing company that said, hey, we're going to create these utility-based NFTs. They have all kinds of benefits. I think that's part of what throws people off. We start getting into all the benefits, land ownership in a metaverse and voting rights. And oh, by the way, you get rewards if you hold on to these NFTs on an ongoing basis, right? Some type of reward. Oh, by the way, you have ownership in a DAO. All of these great things revolve around owning an NFT. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what it does is it allows for us to show that we have an organized community. Hey, Mr. Project, look, we have 21,000 people that have minted a $1,400 NFT. We have 35,000 people that have minted a $1,000 NFT. We have all of these people that have done this. Oh, and by the way, when they minted that $1,400 NFT, they use some of it for an education. They have a trading bot, so they already own crypto. They know how to get into crypto. They're all about the metaverse, right? We got a lot of stuff going on there with Otherverse and the things that we're pushing forward. So and the key here is one NFT can get you a lifetime of value. One NFT, a lifetime of value. There's no expiration date on your ownership in the DAO. There's no expiration date on the meetings you can attend with an NFT. There's no expiration date on the voting of that NFT. It can vote on things once we start voting in first quarter next year. You can vote on things 20 years from now, 30 years from now, with a one-time purchase of an NFT, plus all the other benefits that are out there. So our NFTs are called Avigamis. Why are they called Avigamis? Because they're avatars and origami artwork mashed together, right, to be able to create these incredible utility-based NFTs. And I think that when we start thinking about Web3, we start to think, I don't know anything about it. And it stops us from going out and sharing it with others, right? Because ultimately we're a community. The community is where the resource, it's the power, it's the value that's being created out there. And we think we need to learn something about Web3 in order to go share it with other people. No, you don't. You don't need to know anything about Web3. Once you get inside, we're going to teach you about Web3. We're going to educate you at the speed that you want to be educated and taught. What you need to understand is this is the first time that I know of where you can go to somebody and say, hey, have you ever been one of those people who are in the right place at the right time, at the right moment, right? Like, okay, I'll give you a good example. Steve Ballmer. What was Steve Ballmer's claim to fame? He was Bill Gates' roommate. So him and Bill Gates go to college together. They meet in college. They get to know each other. Bill leaves and goes and founds Microsoft. And I've got another example after this one. And today, Steve Ballmer's worth $100 million or $100 billion. He became Bill Gates's assistant, executive assistant, worked his way up to CEO, and now he's worth over almost $100 billion. Okay. Another example. There's a young kid named Mark Zuckerberg. He was in college, created this program. Happened to have a kid, I think his name was Sean, who was studying PR. Okay. Hadn't graduated, never really done any PR, but they said, hey, you're a friend, you're doing PR. Why don't you do PR for the company? Today, I believe he's worth $600 million. Being in the right place at the right time and knowing the right people, right, made these people wealthy. I don't know about you guys. I've never been that blessed, right, to wake up one day and find out that my best friend won the lottery or something, right, and he's willing to share it with me. So that's the reason for us to start a community. we understand and we know that the most powerful thing in Web3, it's not metaverse, it's not smart contracts, it's not blockchain. It's how those items allow for a community of people to focus on a project, find the right teams, right stuff, right? And then build them into a Doge, build them into an Ethereum, build them into an Avalanche, build them into, you can keep going, token after token after token, where people got together. And normally they work on those projects and maybe they work on a few other ones. But our goal is to organize that community, build technology and software. We have the technology. We're building the software. We have the concepts and the ideas to be able to make it to where very easily and simply we can organize this and get in 50 projects, 100 projects, 500 projects over the next 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And having some of those projects possibly be the Amazon of that category, or maybe the Google of the category, whatever category it may be, the number one player in that category. We already have partnerships and relationships in the blockchain space. TokenSoft, Muon, Otherverse. Those are just 3 of the partnerships that we already have that we're bringing to the table, saying, hey, DAO members, here's our contacts, here's our connections, become a DAO member, purchase an NFT, $50, $1,000, $1,400, and you can have access to my contacts, my Rolodex, my phone, right? That is full of contacts of successful business people that I am going saying, hey, let me bring these relationships to the table in order for you to be able to benefit from them. And guess what? I'm not the only one. There's other people that are joining the community that are saying the same thing. I'll bring my relationships. I'll bring my contacts. I'll bring my creative genius to the table and allow for every single person, not some, every single person that holds an NFT, an Abigami, gets to benefit from everything that's taking place inside the entire ecosystem and moving it forward. This community, once we build it, will be one of the greatest forces moving Web3 forward on the planet. And I believe it has the possibility to create hundreds of billions, if not $1 trillion in digital wealth. The question is what size of that do you want to be involved with? What piece of that do you want? Because again, we have the contacts, we have the creativeness, we have the understanding of Web3 inside and out. We have the contacts, the business relationships, we have the experience to be able to bring this forward. And now we're building that community. And again, for $50, you can be a part of the community. Oh, by the way, you're going to get $50 in software so you can use our NSI, or maybe you want to do a one-on-one training with somebody that's going to walk you through the web space, right? Or maybe you're going to use it on something else, maybe to attend an event at some point in time on that side of it. So the value that you spend on the NFT, you're going to get that value in software technology. And then it's going to give you ownership in the DAO. And then it's going to put you in line in the ability for you to be able to, if you want to, participate in projects at the earliest stage possible. You can determine what you think that can create for you. I do know that if you look at the early stages of people that got into Bitcoin, a few $100s have made them phenomenally wealthy. $1,000 in Ethereum in the early stages would make you phenomenally wealthy today, right? 30 cents a token. What would that be? So you're talking about 30 cents a token, 3, 4, 5,000 Ethereum right now. you'd have what, $9 million, I believe, something like that, some crazy number. So these are all real events that have taken place, guys. We just looked at a video yesterday of a wallet of somebody who bought a token called Caspa. About a little over a year ago, they put $5,000 in Caspa. That wallet today is worth nearly $4 million. I know, again, he got the information, got involved in the project early. I would have liked to have even gotten in earlier than him. He got in when it launched. I would have liked to have gotten in Caspa before it launched. Because then that same 5,000 maybe would be worth 7 or 8 million, 9 million, 10 million, who knows? And we can do that together as a community. We can get into these projects sooner than anyone else has the possibility to get involved. I'm going to open up to some questions, guys. We do have a slide deck presentation, but I think it's really simple and easy. By getting an NFT, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people in the right industry. In the right industry. Web3 will create more wealth for individuals, more freedom for individuals than AI will. I know we all hear a lot about AI. AI is going to absolutely change the world. But you know who's going to get rich on AI? Microsoft, Google, Apple, Amazon. Those are going to be. OpenAI is owned by who? Microsoft. That's who is going to, because it's a rich person's game. It's here's 10 million, here's 100 million, here's a billion, right? So it will create a lot of wealth, but it'll create wealth for the 1%. That's why over the last couple of years, 2/3 of all the new wealth that was created over the last 2 years has gone to the top 1%. Quantum computing, the same thing. It's a big person's game. You got to have a lot of money to play in the space. There's one place where you and every single person you know can win and benefit in the biggest transfer of wealth in human history, and that is Web3. And the crypto bull run is starting. That is going to be so right now, Web3 has been this fantastic concept of a decentralized, right, web, of better opportunity, more access, things like that, right? Trustless transactions, okay? However, this next grouping, this next 2 years, play to earn is there's some phenomenal games out there, guys, that people have been developing for a couple of years. When blockchain gaming first came out, play to earn, people only had a few months and they slapped things together and they put them out there. Now they've had years to build these phenomenal fun to play games. And guess what? People are going to have fun playing them and they're going to earn money doing it, and they're going to flock to them and really move things forward on that side of it. So you have gaming. You have the whole metaverse. Otherverse just rolled out the next level of closed beta for participants. Tomorrow they'll roll out more. Then over the next week, they'll bring in about 5,000 to 7,000 people. And the stuff that people we're talking to right now in that space will bring millions of people into Otherverse. Metaverse is Web3. It's that interactive, right? That side of it. So, Ken Monk, I have tried very hard at recruiting. Can we develop leads in an email system? I keep getting spammed in Facebook and X Twitter. Yeah, Ken, I mean, we can talk about building it, some systems for it. And, you know, we've got to refine the message, guys. That's why I didn't go through the presentation tonight, right? Because the presentation somehow is making this way too complex for people. It's making them think that there's some complexity to what we're doing. And it's not. An NFT is a non-fungible token, a collectible digital piece of artwork on a blockchain that we've attached utility to it, usability, software, just like you bought a software license online, right? $50 or whatever it is. And we've just tied it all together where now, and then it gives you the ownership and it gives you voting rights and it gives you all this other stuff. This is a super simple concept. But the second you say Web3 to people, I think they completely shut down. And they don't understand it and they don't know what it is. So what we need to talk to people about is being in the right place at the right time with the right people in the biggest transfer of wealth in human history. Be somebody who's not being left out this time. Be somebody who's in the what? The know. What is it? Hindsight, right? If we all could reverse the clock and go back to 2008 after the housing collapse, we all just would have went out and bought 4 or 5 rental homes, renting them out, and we could cash out today for $2-3 million and ride off into the sunset, right? We could have all bought the stock market after, COVID, much closer, right? COVID gets announced, stock market crashes, crypto crashes. Within a month, it's back up in all-time highs and people are making a fortune, right? Being in the know, understanding what's going on is the reason why the rich don't keep getting richer because they have the money. The rich keep getting richer because they have the contacts, the connections. They are on the inside. They have opportunities that you and I don't have. We can change that. We can build the community that will give us the opportunities, that will make the opportunities come. We don't even have to go look for them. They will come to us. If you guys are watching the news, sad to hear Charlie Munger passed away, 99 years old. Do you think Charlie Munger needs to go out and find investment opportunities? Or do you think they come to, before he passed away, they came to his doorstep, being that he was a multi-billionaire? I believe they came to his doorstep, right? By the hundreds, right? By the droves. Let's become a Charlie Munger as a community. Let's be the gorilla in the room. Let's be the group, right? That the projects are seeking us out in order to get involved with it and be a part of it. And look, Web3 is happening with or without us, right? We can sit there and shake our head all day long and say, no, that metaverse thing is not going to happen. No, crypto's not going to happen. Matter of fact, I'll tell you guys, I'll make a bold prediction here. By 2033, Bitcoin will be the world reserve currency. By 2033, 10 years from now, Bitcoin, not the US dollar, Bitcoin will be the world reserve currency. All products and services around the globe will be bought and sold in Bitcoin. That is how powerful this mechanism is. Kathy Wood, maybe some of you guys know, if you know ARK Investment, Kathy Wood, put a 1 in the chat there if you've heard of Kathy Wood, ARK Investment. Yes, just about everybody on here has heard of her. She was recently asked if she would buy gold or Bitcoin. And she flat out, no hesitation, said, I would buy Bitcoin over the next 10 years over gold. Gold doesn't have a limited supply. Bitcoin does. Gold, hedge against inflation. Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, I believe a year ago, if you would have put $10,000 in Bitcoin, you would have more than doubled your money. If you would have put it in gold, you'd be down 3.5%. Wait a minute. You mean I would have been better off putting my money into Bitcoin than gold over the last year? Absolutely. A matter of fact, if you would have put $10,000 in 2009 in gold and $10,000, even $1 in Bitcoin, $10,000 in gold in 2009, I would bet you that $1 in Bitcoin would be worth multiples more than your $10,000 in gold would be worth. 10,000 to 1 ratio. Guys, this is not internet fantasy money. And I think that's part of what we need to try to, and there are some videos out there, guys, that you could go and find on YouTube that have very good, and here's what it is. So if I know people and they're like anti-crypto, right? Go on YouTube, find some credible sources that are talking about the utility value of blockchain, crypto, web technology. They're out there. You know, ask them why Michael Saylor, MicroStrategies, software company, why does he personally own 17,000 Bitcoin? And why does his company own over 158,000 Bitcoin? And the fact that he bought 158,000 Bitcoin, meaning the value, they borrowed money to buy Bitcoin, didn't have the cash sitting there, borrowed the money to buy Bitcoin, been paying, servicing that debt, bought 158,000 Bitcoin that now I believe they're up $1 billion on right now. So it looks like he made the right move there. But why does BlackRock own a little over 8% of MicroStrategies? And why does Vanguard, the second largest money management fund in the world, own 9% of BlackRock? I mean, of MicroStrategies. What do they know that the rest of the world doesn't know? And let me ask you this question. Why, instead of buying Bitcoin directly, would they invest in MicroStrategies? Because they want to benefit from Bitcoin because they know where it's going. But until their ETF is approved, they didn't want people to know that they were directly doing it. They wanted to kind of do it on the sly. So, you know, we can go talk to people about this stuff, you know, let them know what we're doing. An NFT. By the way, every single person you know in the next 5 to 8 years will own NFTs. Every single person. Because if you own a car, a house, if you own a stock, a bond, right? By 2030, all of those assets will be tokenized and you'll own tokens. NFTs. It'll be as commonplace as this $100 bill. It'll be as commonplace as a credit card, right? Oh, here's my NFT. Here's my credit card. Here's my driver's license. Oh, here's my NFT. All of this stuff is going to be moving in that direction. We just have an opportunity to benefit from it financially by building a community of people. And we don't need millions, guys. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 people. And we will go out and absolutely just dominate. So we don't need millions of people. So my recommendation is this. I don't want to talk anybody into getting into nexWeb3. I don't want anybody to buy an NFT unless they believe in this concept, this idea of decentralization, and that if we come together, that we can build a fortune together, that we can move mountains, that companies will come to us and say, hey, well, you guys want to get involved in our project? Would you guys like to participate in our airdrop? We'll give you guys extra because you're bringing so many people. Oh, let's see. Somebody put in here $1 in Bitcoin 2009 would be worth about $37 million today. How's that for FOMO? Thank you, Jan. By the way, your $10,000 in gold probably be worth maybe 20 grand, right? I think gold in 2009 was about $1,200 an ounce. Don't have the exact figure there, but that's probably, it was between $800 and $1,200 an ounce, somewhere in there. So you maybe would have doubled or maybe tripled your money, right? Or two and a half times your money, right? $1, $37 million. And here's the great thing about it. So I could tell you right now, in 2008, if you went and bought 5 houses, you could have anywhere in America, you'd have $1.5 to $2 million, and you probably could have picked them up for $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a house. That opportunity is probably gone for the rest of our lives. The crypto opportunity, the Bitcoin, $1 into 37 million. Maybe it's only $1 into 3.7 million, or $5,000 into $4 million, just like we told you just happened in the last 12 months. These opportunities are still here. They're still here. So guys, if we don't have any more questions, I'll say thanks for joining us tonight. Lots of great things happening. Very excited about the direction that we're heading in, and Web3 is heading in, and just looking forward to just, going out and just building an incredible community of people that are building digital wealth on a daily basis. Boom, boom, just like clockwork. Airdrops and projects you can get involved with. And, maybe you're somebody like, man, I'd love to work in Web3, right? Well, how do you get to work in Web3? Well, you become part of nexWeb3. You provide value to projects. Eventually a project says, hey, we need somebody. And you're like, hey, I'm here. And they go, wow, we'd love to hire from your community because you guys are fantastic and you helped us and you are driving our project. And now all of a sudden you're working with a Web3 project. So lots of things that you can do. Anybody here have any ideas for Web3? Like you're sitting around going, oh man, let me scratch this on a napkin. Well, what's our DAO going to do? Bring Web3 projects to the marketplace. So thank you guys. Everybody have a great evening. And we will talk to you on our next presentation. When's our next presentation, guys?
That would be Thursday night, same time, same bat channel.
All right, excellent.